What's going on, traders? Few things to talk about. We're gonna get straight to it. Like, subscribe, comment your thoughts below. Let's get into the video. So first things first, I want to shout out this member who's officially made his first $1 million since being in the Discord. Shout out to him. Finally reached the second comment in my account. I just want to thank Titan and the entire community for plays, support, and just general banter. You guys are welcome to read the rest. I don't want to take up too much of your time, but shout out to him. Hopefully by the end of the year we can make you another $1 million. But this is what I do it for. Things like this is what motivates me to keep going because I want to see everyone be successful, whether you hate me, whether you love me. This is what it is all about. This is what we do it for. Okay. Not only to help each other, but just to make a bag, man. So I truly love to see this. And in celebration of this guy, we are doing a discount in the Discord, 50% off your first month. Um, on the monthly subscription. So that discount code will be in the description below. And then we're doing 30% off the lifetime subscription as well. That code will be in the description below or in the pinned comment below. So feel free to check that out. We scroll up a little bit more. Other Discord members are killing it as usual. As you guys can see, this guy's most of his plays are all green, or at least all of these plays are actually green. A few of these are mine as well. So congratulations to him. We scroll up a little bit more, right? I just renewed my 3 month subscription and numbers don't lie. Titan, I'm still in your corner. His account is officially up 34% within the past 3 months. So shout out to him as well. This is what it's all about. Love to see it. So take advantage of those discount codes. Spots are very limited, right? And you only have up until Sunday to take advantage. So yeah, do what you got to do. Join, don't join. Either way, we're going to keep going. All right. So let's look at some charts. All right. So let's look at some charts. So today, like we discussed in the last video, wasn't really expecting much today, right? We ended up, forming a doji, like we talked about in the last video. And what I mean by this is that historically, right, anytime the market makes a huge move to the upside or even to the downside, usually the next day or two, you just see some type of cool down. And crazy enough, we did exactly what we talked about in the last video, right? For the past week or so, we've been doing pretty much, Uno reverse every day. So bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, bearish, bullish, and then, bullish here. And, we ended the day pretty much bearish, right? Nothing too crazy. No, not any crazy upside, but not too crazy, not too much of any downside either. So pretty much a nothing burger day. All right. Now, what do I expect to happen tomorrow? Well, I still think the SPY has the potential to head towards 650, maybe 648 minimum, right? Maybe we see a drop at open or something like that. Maybe we do something like this before heading higher. So I still think this is very much possible. We'll just have to wait and see. But if we do get some type of sell off, I also wouldn't be surprised as well. Your key level here is 641, 640, your psych level. You break below this, then chances are you're heading towards 638. It's a very tight range here, but you are pretty illiquid all the way to 638. So nothing too crazy in regards to downside until you start breaking those major levels that we talked about in the past few videos, which is 633, 630, and your final boss, the boss of all bosses. I wouldn't say the final boss, but at least the gatekeeper, 625. You get below 625, you're heading towards 620, 618. Then we zoom out, we see that we can head as low as 613, 608, somewhere around this area down here. So we're not quite there yet. We're not really close to that just yet, but it is something you want to look out for. As far as upside goes, again, very much possible as long as we stay above 641, 640, more or less. Then I do think 640, 650, 648 is very much on the table. And then we'll be hitting the top of this bear flag, and then we'll have to see what happens from there. Triple Qs. All right, so triple Qs, what we saw today, we pretty much rejected this trend. I know this is hideous, guys, but just bear with me, right? But triple Qs, so far, as crazy as it is, we're somewhat holding this, bear flag so far. We're holding it right, not necessarily breaking below it, but we're not, pumping back towards the upside just yet. Obviously, we're probably waiting on news tomorrow or whatever we're waiting on. So it's very much possible that we bounce from here. But as you guys can see, upside seems very limited. All right. So far, we rejected this trend line. But if we are going to head back towards the upside, it's very much possible that we head back towards at least at minimum about 585. We give 585 a try, and then it gets very tight within this range, guys. So either we break, retest and head higher, or we reject back towards the downside, get below that 579 level. And if we get below 579, then I do believe 575 is back on the table. And then from there, 574. And then from there, you're looking at 570s, low 570s. So we'll have to wait and see what happens from there. But yeah, these bear flags are still very much in play until you either break below them or you break back above them to pretty much invalidate them. So this is something you want to pay attention to. All right. You want to be careful heading into the rest of this week. All right. I don't know why I keep thinking tomorrow is Friday. So, just be careful for the rest of this week, guys. It's very much possible that we continue to play games, right? This is something we continue to talk about where we're probably going to play games for the next few weeks where we just bounce back and forth within a range We're not going too crazy towards the upside, but we're not doing anything crazy towards the downside either. All right. My best guess is that we're probably going to see some real downside closer to the Jackson Hole event. We'll talk about that once we get closer to those dates, but that's what I'm looking at when it comes to the triple Qs and SPY. All right, VIX. All right, so VIX is getting in a at a critical spot here, guys. Very critical spot. So, what do I mean by that? In case you're new to the channel, so a lot of you actually remember me talking about this, which is great. Okay, I love when people repeat things that I've said in videos because it shows me that not everyone's um not everyone's just in it for thumbnails, right? A lot of you are listening. I was going to say something else, but I had to catch myself. All right, but um, a lot of you are actually paying attention to the things I say, and that's very motivating, right? So 14, 15. Okay, so if we look in the past on the daily time frame here, right? 14. All right, as you guys can see on the VIX, we've bounced off of this level more often than not. What is it? About 14.6, 14.5, more or less. So you bounced here, you spiked towards the upside, you spiked towards the upside here, you spiked towards the upside here, you broke down here, but you hit this trend. But once again, you spiked towards the upside, spike. You guys get the idea, okay? But now we're currently breaking below this level. Okay, we're currently breaking below this level, and next is this trend right here. So we see a bounce here, bounce here, bounce here, and we're pretty close. Okay, about 14.2 is what you want to look out for when it comes to the VIX. I'm not saying we have to bounce from here, but what I would look for here, and this is take this with a grain of salt because at this point I'm kind of treating the VIX like a regular stock, which is not. All right, I don't want to get anyone confused, but what we'll be looking for here is a reclaim of this level right here. Okay, if we reclaim this level, then I do believe the VIX is going to spike back towards 17. All right, or it just spikes right away. I don't know, but this is something you want to pay attention to. Now, can we break further down from here? Absolutely. We can break further down and break this trend. And then at that point, I do believe we're heading towards 13. All right. So between 14 and 15, historically, more often than not, you spike from this level. Okay. You spike from this range. All right. So do what you want with this information. Take it, leave it. I don't know what else to tell you, but it's great to see a lot of you are still paying attention or still remembering a lot of things that I say. And yeah, this is something you want to pay attention to. You don't want to take this lightly. Me personally, I'm not heavy into calls, or I'm not looking to get heavy into calls. I do have personal beliefs that a lot of certain stocks will see more upside, but as long as the VIX is in this range, I'm not too comfortable getting to calls right now. Right, we pretty much traded our upside. We took profit on Baba. I told you guys about Baba, right? We took profit on PDD, right? We still have some runners in PDD, but we took most of our profit on PDD. So any calls that we are in, we pretty much close. We've officially jumped into SPY 600 strike puts for November. All right, so for November, we jumped into SPY puts. So we'll see how that works out. I'll keep you guys posted. You guys know I always keep you posted on my plays, but that's what we're looking at for the VIX. Okay. You can very much spike from here. Maybe Friday, OPEX, or next week, VIX expiration day. We'll have to wait and see. All right. Last but not least, Bitcoin. I'm not going to go again. This is going to be a very short video, but Bitcoin's doing exactly what we talked about, right? I do think Bitcoin can head to 125K. Highest I'm looking at is I wouldn't say highest, but like minimum, I'm looking at about 130K. And then highest, I'm looking at if we're like being greedy, we're being optimistic. We're like, yeah, we're going to the moon. 135K. All right. Um, a lot of you are noticing altcoins are going crazy. That's usually normal for the end of the year. So I do believe towards the end of the year, altcoins are going to like explode towards the upside. So even if the market does just so happen to tank, I wouldn't. I don't think Bitcoin is going to. It's really tough to see where Bitcoin is going to go if the market like crashes. Like I can give you an idea where SPY is going to go, like 600, right? I don't think anyone. I don't think I need to tell anyone that. But like Bitcoin is really tough. So I'm wondering if a rotation is going to happen when it comes to Bitcoin, right? Because I don't think Bitcoin is going to tank anytime soon. Okay, I don't. Like when I say tank, I mean like something crazy, like "Ah!" like my leg, like something like that. I don't know, but I don't know what I just did right there. But regardless, Bitcoin is just something that I just don't see being bearish right now. I could be wrong. So that is why I'm really been pushing coin and like telling you guys about coin. We hit our target on coin, one of our targets, 345 on coin, and then it just gave it all back. But yeah, coin probably after hours, this thing's probably pumping because Bitcoin's pumping. But yeah, coin just has so much potential here, guys. Like I'm not even like I'm not over exaggerating. Um, we saw coin today hit 345. I made a nice little bag off coin as well. But you still have so much potential here. 380 is definitely on the table. I told Discord members 345 is like the minimum target, 360, and 380 is like the gap fill. But I mean, if Bitcoin is going where I think it can go, coin can head to like five. All right, I'm not gonna say it because y'all gonna call me crazy, but we'll stick to the numbers that we can see right now. 380, okay, 380. I don't want anyone going crazy, jumping the gun. All right, quant data, right? This is the last thing I'm gonna talk about, and then that's the video, guys. Quant data. So interesting enough, about at 4:08 Eastern time, SPY puts came in, 614 strike puts. But another interesting thing is disappear. Oh, Nvidia. No, there was Nvidia calls here. I don't know where they went. I don't know where they went. Oh yeah, here they are. One Nvidia 185 strike calls. I always talk about you guys needing bifocals, and here I am, right? But Nvidia 185 strike calls for September 12th expiration. These were loaded at 180. So yeah, like I said, I think we could see a little bit more upside heading into the rest of this week. Spy possibly 648, 650. I mean, especially if we're talking about Nvidia heading back towards 185. I'm not gonna go over Nvidia because the chart looks horrendous, but it's very much possible that this thing heads towards 185. So that's pretty much the most interesting thing that popped up on quant data, that and those spy puts. So screenshot, do what you guys got to do, and that's pretty much the video. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think we're going to see more upside? Do you think it's over from here? We're just going to tank from here. Let me know what you guys think, especially about Nvidia. Right, Nvidia earnings is getting closer and closer, so I think that's going to be interesting. I'm probably going to make a like solo video on that. You guys tend to like those type of videos, even though I kind of was off with Apple earnings, but regardless, you guys tend to like those videos. So we'll keep it going, man. But again, I'm really thankful for my Discord members. It's been a blessing, guys. We're gonna keep this thing going. We're gonna keep pushing, despite what people say, despite what the haters say, all that. But $1 million, man, love to see it. Love to absolutely just love to see it. So we're gonna make another million this year, if not more. We're gonna make another million the next year, trading, investing, all that fun stuff. We're gonna keep it going, and that's what it's all about. I know the screen blanked out because Discord's not loading, but you guys get the idea. All right, so again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Take advantage of those discount codes. They are only open until Sunday. Until the next video, traders, have a good one.